New York is the city that never sleeps, and neither does Sal Licata. From Flushing in the Bronx to the Meadowlands and MSG, Sal sounds off on the biggest sports news of the day. Welcome to WFAN Daily with Sal Licata.
It is Pete Hoffman filling in for Sal Licata. Again, you can always hit me up at Hoff WFAN. And let's be honest, the New York Mets are the hottest team in baseball right now, 6 in a row. They are now 1 game out of a wild card spot. They're 3 games under 500. Everything is clicking. They put up 14 runs versus the Texas Rangers. But there is one thing here that is not being discussed enough, and that is Francisco Lindor. It has turned the corner and has turned this team around. He is the true leader of this New York Mets franchise right now. You can sit there and talk about Grimace. You can sit there and talk about the meeting, Jorge Lopez, all that other stuff. But Francisco Lindor is the reason why this team has clicked. And all it took was him to go to leadoff. Since he's led off, since they made that move in 27 games, I believe it is, in 27 games, Francisco Lindor is batting .315. He's got 15 extra base hits, 15 RBIs, and OPS of 923. That is the significant difference in this lineup. And all it took was for them to brighten up and realize that Brandon Nimmo is not a leadoff hitter. Yes, maybe he gets on base, maybe he can work a pitch count, but he doesn't do enough. Put him later in the lineup. And it's not a knock on Brandon Nimmo. It was more pro Francisco Lindor. But it takes someone like that. It takes Francisco Lindor. It takes somebody who's been struggling the first month or two of the season to step up and then get that opportunity and prove to you why he's so good, why he's so valuable, why he's so important, why at the end of this contract he's going to be coming down. He will be one of the best acquisitions ever by a New York Met. Okay? If they're winning a World Series anytime soon, Francisco Lindor is going to be a part of that. Let's make that clear, okay? And you can sit there and try to knock any level of Francisco Lindor's play, but he truly is the leader of this team. And he just spoke right now after the game was over and talked about what's going on with this recent, obviously the 6-game winning streak, but it's longer than that. It's what are they now, like 11 wins in 15 games, whatever the total is. They are on a hot streak. They are playing some of the best baseball they've played all year. Trust me, we know that they were 11 games under 500. Now they're down only 3 games under 500. So they're clearly playing better baseball. But what is the difference? It's been that Francisco Lindor leadership, because now he's proving it on the field, and he's also doing it off the field. And when asked what has changed about this team, and he just said it's the team is clicking, but they all want to be there for each other. They want to be there to support each other. And it's everyone is looking at someone else who's having a big day, and it's not jealousy, something else. It's like, I want to be part of that too. I want to be part of a big game. I want to have a big hit. And what is one thing that we always used to hear about back in the day with, like, when DeGrom and Wheeler and Syndergaard and Harvey or any other pitching staff that we've heard of, whether it was Pettit and Clemens, and what is the biggest thing you hear about when they are at the best in their game? It's, I want to outdo my teammate. I see what he did. I want to do the same thing. I don't want to be the person that's a rally killer. I don't want to be the one that's not adding to this team or shutting down another team. And in this case, it's the offense. The offense is seeing that, oh, well, listen, if Lindor's leading off with a hit, I want to double down. Alonso's been on fire. The 4 players that have been completely on fire over the past 15 games, it has been JD Martinez. It has been Francisco Lindor. It has been Pete Alonso. It's been Brandon Nimmo. And Nimmo, a guy that was so bad, did not even know where. I was begging for him to be the last in the batting order, sitting at the 9 spot. But he's turned it around, and that's all that matters. Is in a mediocre baseball season where teams are just not as good as they once were, and it's just kind of blah. the Mets can rise through those ashes and find their way into a playoff spot. I'm not sitting here and promising a World Series like I continue to say, but there is no reason. This offense is too good. JD Martinez is a legitimate bat. Francisco Lindor is a legitimate 30-30-30 player. Pete Alonso hits 40 home runs a year. Like that, those numbers start to add up. They just do. And then you have the role players, and you have Francisco Alvarez just returning, and Starling Marte's finding himself again. So it's everybody is starting to contribute, except Jeff McNeil, but mostly everybody is starting to contribute in a good way. Obviously, Peterson had a really good outing, which was necessary because when you put up 14 runs, the last thing you need to do is see the starting pitcher blow a game. But Francisco Lindor is, if there's one person that needs to get to the All-Star game this year for the New York Mets, it is Francisco Lindor. That is the guy. That is the push that we should make. That should be done right now. Is Francisco Lindor needs to be in the All-Star game and needs to get a little bit more respect for what he's done with this team, especially in the start of this streak. I understand the first half sucks. I understand that the first month was awful, was terrible, but we know that. Think about this. If his teammates, and I'm not trying to push it about the whole team, it's because baseball is, it's not an individual sport. You need everybody to be part of it. But yeah, at times you break down individually. So while while Francisco Lindor was struggling, what was the rest of his teammates doing? They were all sucking too. So imagine if some of them were producing. That first month would not have been a thing at all. But it was, and now he's proving why he is as good as he is and why he needs to be in the All-Star game and why he is the leader of this New York Mets franchise. Now, let's go to Yankees real quick because there was no game, but there was some bad news. Anthony Rizzo out, I think it's 6 to 8 weeks, which is a blow because regardless of what I've been saying, that the fact that he's just not good this year, he's still your starting first baseman at the moment. He's still as good as it gets on the current roster right now. Now you can put DJ LeMahieu over there, who's not as good of a glove. His bat's just has been as poor as Anthony Rizzo. So what are we doing? That is a struggle. Now, a lot of people say, well, now's the time. Try to make Stanton. Try to make Judge. Try to make one of these other kids, whether it's Soto, maybe Jason Dominguez is on the IL himself, but maybe make Jason Dominguez the first baseman. It's not as easy. We've seen this in the past. Other teams try to make a player from a different position. Just slap on the first base mitt and have at it. It's not that easy. It's just not. So internally, DJ LeMahieu may be the temporary fix for now, but that is not what you want going forward. You need to get an upgrade. And this is why I've been saying over and over and over. You can't just settle on, wow, the Yankees are good. We have 50 wins. They're the best team in baseball, and they're just going to dominate all season long, and we don't need to be proactive for the playoffs. Yeah, it sucks. It wasn't how you want to plan it out, but now it's a perfect opportunity to either, if you got somebody else in the minors, I mean, Spencer Jones has been hitting a little bit more. I don't think he's ready to make the bigs, but if somebody else that you see that you want to bring up, that's fine. Or this is where you start to look around the trade market and see who you can bring in. With the Mets resurgence, like Pete Alonso is not for grabs at the moment. Paul Goldschmidt, someone that you don't want to touch. He has not been good. Cody Bellinger, the Cubs are in a weird spot because they're in the same spot the Mets are. Any day can put you, in the wild card game or, down below 7 other teams. So the Cubs are right there too in that chaos. Would they trade Cody Bellinger though? If they were definitely out of it, I think they would. And that would probably be the best solution at first base is Cody Bellinger. But again, that's a little bit away. Is there another team? Is there somebody else that you could look at? Like the Colorado Rockies are terrible right now. Miami Marlins are terrible right now. Would you maybe swing for that Jake Berger type of player at the moment that he's got some pop in that bat? He's a big boy. Yeah, he may not be exactly what the Yankees are looking for, but just something to get you over the hump until the big move, until you get somebody that can actually replace Anthony Rizzo, because the World Series push is serious. This team, the New York Yankees, have no excuse this year. They have to get to the World Series. I would like them to win it. Once you get to the World Series, I don't know. It's a toss-up. I think they can, but they need more pieces. So those are the guys you got to start looking at. You got to look at the teams that are out of it. And the Marlins, the Rockies, the White Sox are terrible. But again, I don't think they really have any pieces that you really could dive into right now. The only piece that for the White Sox is Luis Robert, and he's not going cheap. He's just not. But that's what you have to do, is just dive into these bad teams and see where you can start picking off from, just to get somebody to come in the meantime, because we've seen DJ LeMahieu struggle. Why are we going to sit there and let the Yankees struggle when they could just soar? So bring somebody else in. I think Jake Berger might be the easiest fit because, again, I don't know he's a long-term solution for the Miami Marlins. And not sure what his contract is like, but he doesn't seem like someone. He's floated around the league a little bit. He's been to the White Sox, been to the Marlins. There was another team in there in the mix as well for Berger. So I feel like he's a guy that the Yankees can definitely, grab their hooks into, bring him in, cheap, easy deal, nothing too crazy, and make him maybe get some reps at first base. I think he also played third base a little bit too, but DH, all that other stuff. And they have relationships with the Marlins. I mean, I know Derek Jeter's not there anymore, but it's not as difficult to trade with the Marlins these days. Let's be honest with you. All right, well, listen, that's it for WFAN Daily. Again, you can always follow me at Hoff WFAN. Tune in tomorrow to Salicata and Brendan Tierney, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. That's right, tomorrow, Tuesday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. They will be on. They're filling in another full hour as they're taking it to 3 o'clock. That's a special episode of BT and Sal. If you're watching this live, that's tomorrow. If you're listening to this on Tuesday, that's later today. So that's how we do that math. Again, thank you. Please like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. You can always email us wfandaily@gmail.com. You can even leave voice messages too if you want. 725-222-8699. Again, this is Pete Hoffman at Hoff WFAN. I will see you guys next time on an episode of WFAN Daily.